cards, let the dial begin. Twilight Masquerade, the newest release. Get ready for the hype, it's time for gold piece. Unfair step hits you like a punch to the gut. Pulls you right back in, never giving up. I adore to the mix, abilities are locked down. Unlock tricks and tactics, time to hold the crown. Master of the game, I'm here to claim the throne with these new cards. I'll never be alone. Ogerpon makes a move, once the crowd transformed in this Pokemon TCG. I'll weather any storm.
What's up YouTube, it's TCG here and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. On this channel I get daily Pokemon TCG uploads, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Today we're actually going to be checking out the top 20 best cards from Twilight Masquerade, our set coming out on the 24th of May. So if you guys are excited, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Also, hopefully you enjoyed the rock song that we have in the intro. Typically we have intro raps for new songs, but this time we tried something new. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. With that being said, this is a humongous set with a lot of playable cards out there, and we're going to be talking about the top 20 best cards. We're also going to be doing a buy list as well as a complete set review, but this is going to be focusing on the 20 best cards I personally think when checking out like Japanese results and my year throughout the competitive scene, to just let you guys know why I think specific cards are very good. If your opinion is different, let me know in the comments down below why you would put a specific card on the list, and maybe another card should be excluded from the list. Let me know down below and we can get a discussion started. So with that being said, let's just dive into this video. And before we actually talk about the top 20 best cards, be sure to check out our sponsors. There are of course links down below. If you're looking for Dragon Shield product, you can use the coupon ZAPDOS5 to get 5% off on everything on the website. There's PotanStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs. You can use the coupon ZAPDOSTCG for 5% off. Cardmarket.com for European players. You can buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. And YourPlaymat.com allows you to create your own unique custom playmat, which is very nice to, of course, to be playing with something unique. They also ship worldwide, so definitely check that out. With that being said, number 20 goes to Luxray EX. This is a stage 2 Pokemon, but it is in here for its piercing glint attack, allowing you to look at the opponent's hand and discard one card you find there. So you have full control on which card you want to discard, and it isn't actually limited by trainer cards like Luxray V was, so it has a little bit of synergy with that, and it also works with a DTE. So double turbo energy and off you go, looking at your opponent's hand and discard any card you find there. Definitely with cards out there like Judge, with unfair stamp ACE SPEC card, you're going to be having a crazy way to make sure the opponent has nothing in hand, which is super awesome. That's why we're putting it on the number 20. I don't know if it's going to be that powerful because it is a stage 2 Pokemon, but it is definitely a very terrifying attack. If you have, like, let's say only one colorless in hand and stuff, they can discard it instantly, and out of nowhere you are bricking, and that's what Luxray EX is good for. Moving forward, we're going to go to number 19, and that's going to be the Handy Fan. Handy Fan is a tool card, and it actually states, whenever the active Pokemon this card is attached to takes damage from your opponent's attack, move an energy from the attacking Pokemon to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Very cool against stuff like Charizard, for example. You could be putting energies onto useless Pokemon like Bebarrel or something, and out of nowhere, or stuff like Manaphy, Jirachi, etc. Like Pokemon that are typically not attacking, you can make sure that the opponent runs out of energies this way. Also, we get Enhanced Hammer back in the format, so with Enhanced Hammer, Crushing Hammer, and this Handy Fan, we have some crazy energy denial or energy placements that you can do around, so the opponent will no longer have enough resources. So another tool card for control-ish archetypes. Number 18 is Kieran, and Kieran has 2 effects. You can actually choose one, very similar to back in the days where we had Clara, which also allows you to like choose something, or it was also like the gym leaders from the Hoenn region that also had this kind of effect where you can choose one of the options that is stated on the card here. So it states here, switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. So pretty much a switch. If you want to have a switch, you have a switch in a supporter form. Very cool against stuff like Control, Snorlax Block, etc. So that's nice because this is not easily discardable by stuff like Misfortune Sisters or Eerie. On the second effect, you do have, during this turn, your Pokemon's attack deal 30 more damage to your opponent's active EX or active Pokemon V before applying weakness and resistance. This is actually very huge because but this in combination with Maximum Belt allows you to hit 80 additional damage. So this is also searchable with stuff like the Tatsugiri, which we're going to be talking about more, and also with Luminion V to fetch it from the deck. So there is a world where you can see like 1 or 2 copies in specific decks with the Kieran. So very cool indeed that this is included in the Twilight Masquerade set. Number 17 is Boomerang Energy. This is a unique special energy because it's just a regular colorless energy, but if this card is discarded by the effect of an attack used by the Pokemon this card is attached to, attach this card from your discard pile back to the Pokemon after attacking. So let's just give an example. There is a Greninja EX in here that actually like discards some energies and snipes a little bit. Another example, Radiant Greninja is an also, yeah, a very good example of this. So you discard energies, and with this effect, you can actually get the energies back straight away. So with a very tanky Pokemon, this could be very useful because you attack and you instantly get the energies back, meaning you can spam those attacks that discard energy. So a very cool, unique special energy. Lugia decks might actually try and incorporate some attackers that have some discard effect. So we'll see how this actually works in the meta game. But also I want to shout out here that the cards that you're all seeing here will be legal for the World Championships over in Honolulu, Hawaii. So if you really want to have a head start for that tournament, be sure to, of course, get over to PokemonProxies.com to, of course, use those proxies and start playing with them already. Number 16 is Blissey EX. I think, personally, this could even become higher, but I am safely putting it on number 16 spot. But Blissey EX actually has 300 HP for a Stage 1 EX, monsters for a Stage 1 EX, and I think it's also going to be an interesting deck by itself because you can spam it together with stuff like Cheer and Scare, as well as maybe giving this a Hero Escape to actually give it 400 HP. It's going to be fantastic. So also its ability is pretty good. Once during your turn, you may move a basic energy card from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. So this actually can be pretty interesting. If you want to Cheer and Scare, you can move the energy to the one on the bench, then attach the DTE or the Double Turbo Energy, whatever, and then you Cheer and Scare, meaning you can always Cheer and Scare even if you have no energies on your bench, Chansey or Blissey, which is going to be fantastic. Return also allows you to draw cards until you have 6 in hand. So 180 with the Double Turbo Energy included, that's 160. It's going to be able to KO most things with 2 shots, which is great. Even if you count in, it's like 160 with DTE. Most things will get knocked out with a 2-shot of the Blissey EX. If you have, if you want to have some extra damage counter help, you can think about like Maximum Belt or having some. In specific situations, you could have actually already an energy on the bench one, which means you can, of course, not rely on Double Turbo Energy and then attack for 180. So it's an interesting card, and I think with Cheer and Scare in the format and not a lot of fighting type Pokemon running around rampant in the format, this actually might see itself in some success situations. Number 15 is Palafin EX. This is also a monstrous HP, 340, even more than Charizard for Stage 1 EX. There is, however, a downside. You can only put this Pokemon in play with the effect of Palafin's 0 to Hero ability. Otherwise, you cannot even evolve your basic Pokemon. So your Finizen cannot get evolved into this guy. You need to evolve into Palafin here, and then use the 0 to Hero ability. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from the active to the bench, you may search your deck for a Palafin EX and switch it with this Pokemon. Any attached cards, damage counters, special conditions, turns in play, and any other effects remain on the new Pokemon if you switched a Pokemon in this way. Shuffle this card into your deck. So the cool thing is that this card gets shuffled back in the deck. You get the Palafin EX, but you will need a lot of switches in your deck to make use of this, because then you are situated at the bench, meaning that you can then have to play a switch card to get it in the active position. But 340 HP, Stage 1 EX Pokemon that slaps 250 damage. That's kind of crazy. If you add in something like a Choice Belt, stuff like Arceus V-Star, Lugia V-Star, they all go down with 1 energy. During your next turn, this Pokemon can attack, but you don't mind because you can, of course, use the high amount of switches in a deck like this to make sure of it. I don't know if it's going to be that powerful because 250 doesn't actually... the damage is like 250 flat, so with the Choice Belt 280, that's good. But against like, Stage 2 EXs, you're going to have to 2-shot, and you're always stuck in the active, and sometimes you cannot get out of it if they Iono you, so... Pretty interesting. You'll need a lot of switch outs, and that's why we're putting another 15 spot. Moving forward, Legacy Energy. This is kind of broken, by the way. Do you remember Live Dude? Do you remember Rainbow Energy? Well, they fused together in this one. Once per game, if this Pokemon card is attached to and is knocked out by damage from your opponent's attack, your opponent takes one fewer prize card. So live do ACE SPEC card. But then it also provides any type of energy simultaneously. So they actually stated once per game because cards like Silene could get this back, and then you have an infinite loop with like live do. They learned from the past with like the Sableye deck out there. But anyhow, Legacy Energy could get some new life into decks like Lugia V-Star, for example, because Lugia with the Primal Turbo Archeopsis can get this instantly from the deck, and this counts as a Rainbow Energy, meaning you can now start swinging again with Radiant Zard or, Iron Hands in the Lugia deck. So I wonder how this will actually do, because currently in the Japanese results we'd see another ACE SPEC card being played in these decks, but it's a very strong energy, strong effect. I'm not putting it here on the number 14 spot. Number 13 goes to Jamming Tower. I think is a very underrated stadium card right now. Every tool card in play has no effect, meaning stuff like Hero Escape, you can shut that down. Stuff like Bravery Charm, you shut that down. Maximum Belt, forget about it. This is going to be very great if you're struggling against stuff like Gardevoir, and as Gardevoir is going to be still a good deck. That is a question to be unanswered in the future. But the cool thing is that with this stadium, you can shut down those HP buffing tools. Very great against stuff like Control, very great against stuff like Gardevoir. So it's a great stadium all around, and also protect yourself from potential maximum belts, because not a lot of decks are playing a high amount of stadiums currently. Then number, here we go, number 12, Secret Box. Yeah, this is interesting. You can only use this card if you discard 3 cards from your hand. Initially you might think, oh, this is going to be great. Now we can actually have an additional way to discard some Archeopsis in hand. Well, you could do that, Lumineon Arven, Secret Box, then discard those cards. You know how it goes. This could be also a help for Lugia, by the way. You discard 3 cards in hand in order to get yourself an item, a tool card, a supporter, and a stadium. So you can get 4 cards. It is an ACE SPEC, so only 1 allowed per deck. Unfortunately, I think there are way stronger ACE SPEC cards in the format, but I'm still putting it here on the number 13 spot, because actually on the number 12 spot, because I think it is actually gonna be useful for specific decks out there. Moving forward, 11 is going to for Waking Whistle. This is going to be helping out Snorlax block decks. I know, you don't want to hear what I'm saying currently, but it is going to help out Snorlax block. Look at the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck. Put any number of basic Pokemon you find there onto their opponent's bench. Your opponent shuffles the remaining cards back in deck. So this is an item card allowing you to put basic Pokemon from the opponent's top deck on their bench instantly. So now you have Erika's Invitation to scout from the hand. You have Mantine to scout from the discard pile, and now you have Waking Whistle to just... Your opponent will have no... If you're playing like... support Pokemon, Lumineon, Bidoof, Manaphy, Jirachi, etc. They could get trapped with Waking Whistle, so prepare. Snorlax is getting better, so it's kind of bad news, right? Number 10 is going to go to the Ogerpon EX, and I'm actually going to group them all together because they come packed with a unique item card that I really want to be showing here. So this item card, Ogre's Mask, allows you to put a Pokemon EX in your discard pile that has the Ogerpon in its name, and switch it with one of your Pokemon EX in play that has Ogerpon in its name. So you can switch your Ogerpons if you play this trainer card. So as long as they are in the discard pile, you can flip-flop. All the effects, damage counters, etc. still remain on the new Pokemon, but this is going to be very cool to switch from one Ogerpon to the other one because they all have unique ways to go around it. So the first one has Teal Dance, allowing you to accelerate a grass energy from your hand to the Pokemon and draw a card. So draw power, energy acceleration, that seems pretty nice. Its attack also slaps 30 damage plus 30 more for every energy attached to both active Pokemon, meaning this is going to be an attack that can easily one-shot Charizard EX by itself. That's already great in my book because Charizard is currently the tier S deck in the format. And the cool thing is with that item card, you can flip-flop between your ogres. The cool thing is you can flip-flop to this guy, prevent all damage from attacks done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon that have any abilities. Think about Charizard, they all have abilities. The only thing that doesn't have an ability is a Charmeleon. So you can flip to this, and out of nowhere, you cannot get touched once again, which is awesome. If your opponents are not playing stuff like Canceling Cologne, they cannot hit through this ability, meaning you can wall them out. Very, very strong ability. You can also flip-flop to this one, the Wellspring Mask Ogerpon EX. This actually comes back with a cool attack, slapping 100 damage, and you may shuffle 3 energies attached to this Pokemon into your deck. If you do, this attack does also 120 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if the opponent doesn't slap down stuff like Manaphy, They might get sorry because you can actually power that up quite easily. Attach of the turn, Teal Dance, then the following turn, use it again, transform, and boom, out of nowhere. Yeah, the opponent didn't slap down Manaphy, so they're punished. So very cool indeed. Then we have, now I'll think about the Sup attack is also not too bad. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. With a DTE, you slap 0 damage, meaning you have the Mawile effect on a big HP Pokemon. Then we have the Heart Flame Mask Ogerpon, the other one you can transform into, and this is gonna slap more damage depending on how many damage counters you have on this Pokemon. So let's say you get damaged, you're not knocked out, then you can transform into this guy and then evaporate anything in your way. Having 3 of these energies, you can of course think about like stuff like the Magma Basin, but I think you're not going to be using that attack quite often. I think you would be combining Ogerpon, the grass one, with the water and the fighting type one in my book. So also what's it again? The energy here, is it a rainbow kind of energy could work with a card like this, also giving up 1 last prize card. So there is worlds where you could use that legacy energy in a deck like this. But yeah, we're going to be moving on here after the Ogres, yeah, solidly on the number 10 spot. Now number 9 is going to go to the one and only Dragapult EX. Yeah, a blast from the past. Who remembers it? All the way back, Dragapult VMAX with some stuff. It's very similar. The cool thing is Dragapult EX has no weakness whatsoever. For 1 energy, 1 colorless energy might I add, you slap 70, which is already by itself. You can knock out Charmander, Frigibax, Pidgey, Comphase, you name it. Weak HP Pokemon, very cool. Its second attack actually slaps 200 damage, and you put 6 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon in any way you like. Very, very scary because 200 and putting 6 damage counters wherever you feel like can set up some KOs on weak HP Pokemon. So yeah, with the 6 damage counters, you knock out most Charmanders, Pidgeys, Frigibaxes as well. So multiple prize cards with Dragapult EX is not unheard of. It is a stage 2, however, so you're gonna have to play a very consistent list to get this working. Luckily, the Drakloak here, I'm also gonna be putting it here on the number 9 spot because it groups together here, is Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto with Airmail. Who remembers that? It is here once again in the form of Drakloak. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one in the hand and the other on the bottom of the deck. So you can cycle through your deck with Drakloak, helping out the consistency of your Dragapult EX deck. Very, very cool indeed. Moving forward, we have a Survival Cast. You might think this card is not a great ACE SPEC card with Lost Vacuum in the format, also with that Jamming Tower in the format, but listen to me. Most Lugia lists are now starting to play this, and for good reason. If this Pokemon, this card is attached, has full HP and will be knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's attack, that Pokemon is not knocked out and its remaining HP becomes 10 instead. Then discard this card. The cool thing with this is that, let's say you have a Chinchino with 5 energies attached to it. Yeah, that's very scary. It could slap 350 damage. If the opponent is not able to have Vacuum on that turn, they're gonna have to like attack it and nothing happens, and then you can do 350 once again. So it is helping the price rate quite ridiculously. You can also see some control lists trying to incorporate stuff like this, where you can able to loop cards like this with stuff like Silene and yeah, Penny, like you Penny, and then the following turn you also have Silene. You have some like looping capabilities with the Survival Cast. But yeah, as mentioned, Lost Vacuum and the Jamming Tower are in the format, so you have to be careful when using this. Number 7 is a reprinted card, Enhanced Hammer. It is back in the format, allowing you to discard a special energy without the reliance on a coin flip. Meaning, you can actually get rid of double turbo energy, you can get rid of all the special energies in existence, jet energies, etc., you name it. It's gonna be fantastic because, let's be honest, Lugia is still around, it's playing special energies. Most of the top tier decks like Charizard, chien-pao and stuff play basic energies, but the more and more special energies get released into the format, very powerful ones, like the ones I recently mentioned, like Legacy Energy, you can instantly discard it with the Enhanced Hammer, and I think that's finding itself in a great spot, because more and more special energies will get released at one point, and then Enhanced Hammer will find its way, as it always has in the past. Number 6, an ACE SPEC card, scoop up Cyclone back from the past, put a Pokemon and all cards attached to it into your hand without a downside. So pretty similar to Turo, but you keep all your stuff as well. So I would say penny for all Pokemon. That's pretty much into an item card as well. So this is going to be interesting. You want to be playing this, or you want to be playing Heroescape. The cool thing is with Scoop Up Cyclone, if you want to like reuse a couple of abilities, you could do that now again. I could give us a tiny example, not that you're going to be using that, but Radiant Greninja, concealed cards, then Scoop Up Cyclone, slapping it down again, concealed cards once again, but more importantly, you could be able to heal off big HP Pokemon with the Scoop Up Cyclone, and that's going to be its main use here. And it's a very strong ACE SPEC. We have so many ACE SPECs now, it's going to be a very hard choice to select the perfect one for your current deck. Number 5, Greninja EX. It's a Terra Pokemon, fighting type, 310 HP is a little bit on the lower side for a Stage 2 EX, but luckily only 1 retreat cost, and Ninja Blades is a very powerful attack. 1 Water Energy, 170 damage. You may search your deck for any card you want and put it in your hand. It's actually kind of crazy, that attack. And also it's Duplicate Barrage. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 120 to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Actually, to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, you can choose. So pretty much Urshifu has been reincarnated with G-Max Rapid Flow into the form of a Greninja EX. This is actually kind of interesting. Greninja EX is of course a deck that relies on Stage 2. You cannot use Irida because Greninja is fighting, not water. But I could see this working out because the Froakies are of course water, so you could still use Irida a little bit, maybe a couple of Iridas, and you could get any card you want from the deck. That's so powerful. Like in this situation, Ninja Blade, get yourself the DTE, and then next turn 120, 120, or get yourself the Canceling Cologne, the Prime Catcher, etc. It's a very strong card for sure, and 170 is already enough to knock out stuff like Squawkabilly EX as well as Luminion V, so that's pretty interesting for sure. Number 4, Tatsugiri. You might think, what is this weak HP Pokemon doing here on the bottom half of the list of Twilight Masquerade? Well, attract customers is actually super crazy. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active position, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal a supporter card you find there, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle the other cards back into the deck. So, it's your Iono protection, by the way, also capable with that escape board, and yeah, that's gonna be fantastic, allowing you to have free retreat, have yourself a way to find the correct supporter at the correct time. And stuff like Lost Box, you want the Roxanne, well, put this up front, your deck is pretty thin, find the Roxanne and boom, off you go. You get Iono to 2 cards, don't worry, put Tatsugiri up front. Oh, Tatsugiri finds research, there we go, we're back in the game. So it's gonna be saving games and makes Iono a little bit weaker, and that's super nice. If you want to include this, you have some Iono protection. If you just slap it down on the bench, and then you can actually find whatever you need. So I think it's a very interesting card for sure, and we'll see play. Number 3, Iron Thorns EX. You might think this is one of the Pokemon that I want to be talking about in the top 3 because I already made a separate video about Iron Thorns and some deck lists. So Iron Thorns is a future Pokemon, meaning you can get the future boost energy capsule onto it to have free retreat, even though it has a monstrous 4 retreat. You can use electric generators on it because it's a lightning type. And you can also use attachment and DTE to attack with it, and it moves energies from this Pokemon to one on the bench, meaning it is pennyable. You can use penny multiple times, that's what we're going to be saying. But more importantly, initialize. While this Pokemon is in the active spot, Pokemon with a rule box in play, except any future Pokemon, don't have any abilities. All the Pokemon with rule boxes. Charizard evolves. You cannot get any energies, and I just used a couple of crushing hammers. That's so bad. Oh, you're up against chien-pao. Shivery Chill? How about Shivery Nothing? You cannot use that. There's also, you want to use Squawkabilly? Oh, that's too bad. You have a rule box, you cannot use it. Well, this Iron Thorns is in the active spot. Anything with rule boxes has no abilities. That is just so crazy. That ability is strong by itself. We no longer have Path to the Peak, but this is inherently such a strong ability that it will be a deck based around purely Iron Thorns, and that's super nice because we are in dire need for some ability block. Number 2, Unfair Stamp. Yeah, this is going to be very unfair in a lot of situations. You could say, oh, I lost a game because of Unfair Stamp. There are going to be a lot of games where you lose because of Unfair Stamp. Another powerful ACE SPEC card. You're only able to play this if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn, and then each player shuffles their hand into their deck, then you draw 5 cards, the opponent only draws 2. Yeah, putting the opponent to 2 cards is insane. You can do that as soon as your second turn if the opponent has taken a knockout, and then out of nowhere they could brick. I might just say Unfair Stamp combined with like Luxray V or like Grabbers, Eerie, all of these cards combined will make it sure that the opponent could have a 0 card hand. Unfair Stamp, Eerie, Grabber, out of nowhere the opponent is in top deck position. I think this will make B-Barrel a little bit stronger. You will need to have some sort of draw engine into your bench incorporated, otherwise you will instantly lose to an Unfair Stamp. Unfair Stamp, very easy searchable with stuff like Arven, Irida, so I think Unfair Stamp will be one of those cards that can make a game win or lose situation very easily. You could also play unique decks like Arbok EX in combination with Unfair Stamp to make sure the opponent has 0 cards in hand. There's already seeing play in stuff like Gardevoir, seeing play in which decks did I also saw this play, and the Great Tusk Mill deck. So if you can make the opponent not have any options, any cards in hand, you could be running away with games, and I think that it's very, very strong. Some Charizard lists are also playing this, so beware of Unfair Stamp. Then my number 1 card from Twilight Masquerade. Could you guess it? Let me know in the comments if you guessed it. It is Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX. I have checked out a bazillion amount of Japanese results already, and Bloodmoon Ursaluna is on almost all the decks I could see. It is seeing play in Lost Box. It's seeing play in Giratina. I saw some of these Ursalunas being dropped into some Lugias. There's so much you can do with this card, and just because it has its crazy ability, this Pokemon's attack costs 1 cardless energy less for every prize card the opponent has taken. Does that sound like ring a bell? It's like Radiant Charizard, but it's 260 HP. Kind of broken. 260 is a crazy amount of hit points. Put a Bravery Charm on there and it has like Stage 2 EX vibes, right? Such a strong Pokemon. 260 is a crazy number. Its attack, Blood Moon, also slaps 240 damage or 220 with a DTE, but with the DTE you can get it off as soon as the opponent has taken 3 prize cards. The cool thing is that this card is splashable in any deck out there. In control decks, you could be playing this as a one-off instead of Radiant Zard, because you can also use double Turbo Energy on it. You could be using this in Lost Box as your beat stick when the opponent has taken a lot of prize cards. You could be playing this as there's so many decks out there that you could be playing this. You could be playing this in the Iron Future Hands box deck, where you just go 2/2/2, and then in the late game you have still a very powerful attacker out there. Bloodmoon Ursaluna is splashable in every single deck in the format, and that's why I am putting it on the number 1 spot, because it's strong, has great stats, slaps a huge amount of damage, and even with double Turbo Energy it slaps basic EXs and basic V Pokemon into obliviation with Blood Moon. So yeah, that's my opinion. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about the cards that I put on the list down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button, subscribe for more content, and of course check out our sponsors for today's video. PokemonStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs, Dragon Shield for your sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. Use the coupon ZAPBLUES5 to get 5% off. YourPlaymat.com to create your own unique custom playmat, and cardmarket.com to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. So thank you all for watching this video. I'll be making more Twilight Masquerade content very shortly, and also let me know what you thought about the rock song in the intro. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.